Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another Monster Super League video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a returning exotic Astromon, Jiang Shi. Or if you like the correct way to pronounce it, in Mandarin, it's Jiang Shi. And of course, if you want to pronounce it in Cantonese, then it's Jiangshi. Alright, so, are they any good? Well, let's check them out right now. All 5 elements, yep, let's go. So I say returning exotic Astromon, of course, she was available for capture last year. In fact, it hasn't even been a whole year since her return, I don't think. So I've managed to get all 5 versions of her since last year, but I've never really put them to use. I don't think I'm gonna be making any compelling arguments to be using them. Although I am pretty late game, so maybe, you don't use a Pidgey if you got a Mewtwo, so. Okay, so starting us off, we have the Fire Element. She has 25,000 HP, 1800 attack, 2800 defense, and 1600 recovery. So, not too bad for Nat 3, but still not good enough to be worth considering past mid-game. It's what I would say, except there's a little thing called Nat 3 League, so maybe if you're using her for Nat 3 League, it could be pretty good. Especially since she looks like she has Fearless Taunt on her passive. Alright, let's take a look at her skills. Alright, so for her passive, she does indeed have Fearless Taunt. Reduces damage received by 50% for 1 turn, and 1 turn only, and grants a 80% chance to draw enemies' attention for 1 turn. Now this can be skill booked to a 2-turn duration for the 80% chance to draw enemies' attention for 2 turns. But you'll only have the 1 turn defense up, but then you can always, because you're always attacking the next turn anyway, so you get the defense up all the time, unless you choose to use your active, which is Sap. Grants 60% chance to inflict the enemy with 2 types of Sap damage for 2 turns. Sap foes have decreased resistance. So this one can be skill booked up to a 70% chance to inflict the Sap onto the enemies. Her variant leader skill is Death Blow. Increases allies' critical hit damage by 30 to 35%. Works anywhere, anytime. Just dial the 0800 number. No, I'm kidding. You gotta capture a variant of her first. Obviously. Sorry guys, making videos puts me on edge. So just let me have some fun. Let's move on to the water type. I don't know what it is. It's just sitting in front of Mike talking, but I'm so on edge for some reason. Anyways, the water element comes with 39,000 HP almost, and she has 1800 attack, 1800 defense, and 1600 recovery. She's a heck of a tank for a Nat 3. But her skills is for her passive, well, passive and active, they're both Curse. 80% chance to curse the enemy for 2 turns. Cursed foes take HP damage. What other kind of damage could they take? What, SP damage? So Curse, when it first came out, it was like, well, is Curse better or is it Sap better? Which one's better? So basically Curse is relative to your Astromon's attack stat. So the higher your attack stat for the Astromon, the higher the Curse damage. Sap is fixed damage based off of the enemy's max HP. So the more HP the enemy has, the higher your Sap damage will do. So then Curse really kind of sucks, because to boost your Curse damage, you gotta build your Astromons like glass cannons. But then, even at the height of being a glass cannon with really high attack stat, your curse damage is only gonna be slightly matched with Sap damage. Plus, you're missing a very key component with the damage over time mechanic, and that's survival. So if you're taking a long time to kill something because you gotta depend on that damage over time to kick in, then you gotta survive. And how do you survive with a glass cannon? I don't know. The way you build most sappers is that you put on HP defense, so that way the sappers themselves, while they're sapping, not to be confused with fapping, but they can survive themselves while the damage over time is taking effect, sapping away at the enemy's HP. So that makes sense. Now, to build glass cannons that do curse damage, that do damage over time, but then they can kill you before your damage over time takes effect, makes no sense. And also, if it's relative to attack, then why is her attack so low? What? Okay, so you say she's a tank, fair enough. But then why build her with like super high HP, but then she doesn't have attack to do her curse damage? Like, what's the point? What, just to delay the fight and do nothing and waste everybody's time? Is that it? Anyways, with that being out of the way, for her passive, you can skill book this wonderful skill up by 20% activation rate. And for her active, you can skill book it by a 10% extra activation rate. So you can go 100% for the passive and 90% for the active. You can probably tell I'm not too thrilled about the prospects of acquiring one of these water Jiang Shi or Jiang Shi if you guys like me pronouncing it the correct way. But anyways, I don't recommend it, and I would recommend Water Miho over this. Water Miho by a long shot is a good choice. But anyways, we gotta move on. Also, I am having a little bit of fun, so I'm not pissed off, but I am a little bit annoyed, but not pissed off. Anyways. Alright, now we've got the wood element here to work with. She's got 26,000 HP, 2200 attack, 2300 defense, and 1600 recovery. Oh man, I'm looking at her skills and I'm already a little bit annoyed, but let's see if it's not that bad. Man, it's just 80% chance to put target to sleep for one turn on her passive skill. But because her active skill is Unflinching Strike, you're obviously going to be using this one on a Titan. But then you can't put a Titan to sleep. So then, oh, what is the plan here? Like, what is the game plan for this? What are these strategic measures in using this particular Astromon? Like, what were they going for out of the gate? You know, like, why did they do this? What's with this skill combination? Okay, well, anyways, her skill books allow you to skill book her sleep to a 20% extra activation rate, so 100% chance to not sleep the Titan you're fighting because they're immune to sleep. And then you have Unflinching Strike, which for every skill book you pour on it just increases the damage, and that's it. But it's not Courageous Strike, so it's not really the one you should be looking for. But I guess if you're mid-game and you don't have any choices, this is a good choice, so maybe go for it. I wouldn't go for it though, because that sleep, like, what are you gonna do with... Okay, well, maybe it's like a Astromon they expect you to sometimes use in PvP, but then other times use in Titans, but then other times you just put in storage. So yeah, I don't know what the goal was. Anyways, move on. Let's move on. Okay, so for the light one, we have 26,000 attack. Wow, that would make it OP, but no, I'm sorry. That's 26,000 HP, 3,200 attack, 2,200 defense, and almost 2,000 recovery. Her skills are looking promising though. I know this one does quite a lot of damage because I've encountered her sometimes in PvP defense teams when I auto them. So anyways, her passive skill is Morale Boost. Gives 100% chance to restore 20% of own SP when attacking. You can skill book this so that it gives you 30% of your own SP. 100% to do 30% back. Then for her active, she's got HP Siphon. Attacks greatly restore allies' HP in proportion to the amount of damage dealt. You can skill book this one as well. And at max skill book, it gives you 10% more to the HP you recover. But then what is 10% more in greatly restore? So I don't know. But in short, this one's pretty good. Should consider picking her up for farming or for PvP. I would say maybe more PvP attack than PvP defense, but I have seen her on PvP defense before, although she does always get wrecked, so I don't know about that, but yeah, she's pretty good. Maybe consider prioritizing getting this one. Alright, so last up we have the dark one. 27,000 HP, 3200 attack, 2300 defense, and almost 2000 recovery. And looking at her skills, it looks like it's gonna piss me off again, but we've already been through it, so let's just take a quick look. Alright, so passive is Curse, grants 8% chance to curse enemy for 2 turns. Curse foes take HP damage. You can skill book this one for a 20% more activation rate, bring it up to a 100% chance to curse enemy for 2 turns. And curse foes, yes indeed, do take HP damage. Like I said before, not sure what other damage they could be taking. What, like emotional damage, maybe? So her 5-star active skill is Fulminating Curse. Deals explosive damage in proportion to the number of curses afflicted upon the opponent. Okay, so if you stack a whole bunch of curse words on the enemy, and then you kind of pull out their earplugs, they go BAM! Is what I'm trying to... Maybe that's how it works, I don't know. If you skill book this one, then it just does more damage, is basically what it does. I don't recommend using this, but, you know, I think sap's better. Personal opinion. But yeah, feel free to let me know what you guys think, and also be sure to check out my Discord server for some fun times. Is that weird to say? Just basically some people playing Monster Super League and Dragalia Lost and Fire Emblem Heroes, and that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video though, because that was a little bit of change of pace for me. But yeah, that being said guys, I will catch you guys on the next one.